Welcome into J Leman's film room. Got an ugly one to discuss. A 27-10 loss at Wisconsin. Jay, one of the most disappointing losses I can think of, especially in the last 4 years for Brett Bielema. I mean, 2022 had those late that you lost, weren't able to kind of get to the Big Ten West championship there. But this one, given the expectations for this team and the team you played, this one stung, man.
I don't think we've had an upset like this against us ever with Brett Bielema, right? I mean, at this point, I mean, Purdue and Michigan State in those years were good in that 2022 season. UTSA beat us with Barry Lunney, but they were a good team. I think this is the biggest discrepancy loss that we've had.
We'll talk about the offensive line getting beat several times in this one. We'll go over that. But I just want to highlight some of the key plays that I felt really turned this game. This is the third play of the game for Wisconsin, Jay. You had negative plays on the first two plays. It's 3rd and 11. Get off the field. And it's been an issue all year. So take me through what went wrong here for Illinois.
So you're rushing 4 here, okay? Because I think Alec Bryan is falling back here, and you're in a zone coverage here. You're not necessarily in man. And what if I'm Malachi Hood here? So I've got to, if I'm reading the quarterback's eyes, I have got to get to the, see how he's standing on that side of the hash, but there's no threat on that side of the hash right now. He needs to get back to the middle of the field ASAP, right? Come to the middle of the field, and help out to take number 2 away, but also stay square with your feet and then come downhill and make a play right there, okay? And I think, see, that's the difference right there. If he's shuffling over beforehand to kind of keep your head on a swivel, this would have helped to make this tackle prior. Now, Miles Scott doesn't take a great angle either, right? So watch Miles Scott angle here as he comes down to attack. Guys, you've got to know where the ball is headed. That's a bad angle right all around by Miles Scott. And you got to know that the ball is coming to the inside here. And so, man, I think both of those could be better in coverage. It doesn't look like they're short a man, but it certainly looks like they're playing at the sticks. And if you're going to play at the sticks, you've got to be able to come up and make that tackle. So you see Miles Scott inside the hash there in a flat-footed stance. This is a kill shot if he times it up right. Just a bad angle all around that leads to a first down. He should take an angle toward the middle of the field, not straight down to where the ball is headed. So
this feels like deep cover 3, right? You got 2 corners and Matthew.
Yeah, you have that here. You have that. But the Miles Scott and your hook defenders. So you have your 2 hook defenders. That means on the hash there are basically Malachi Hood and Miles Scott. They should sandwich this ball together, honestly, because going up the field, you have deep help down the middle of the field. Like there's no way that should get to the first down. So it's not necessarily a bad call, but it's played too softly with poor technique.
Yeah. Man, these 3rd and long, Shay, all season.
It's been brutal getting off the field.
I don't understand why it's been an issue so often for this team. All right, this is another big moment early in the 3rd quarter, Jay, where Gabe Akis makes a potential game-wrecking play, right? Like this felt like, man, he gets the ball loose, unbelievable pass rush here. It didn't get blocked. So easy for Gabe, but makes a play on the ball. You don't get it.
Yeah, really good job by Gabe staying away from the head, okay, and getting the ball out, because this is easy. This is really easy to have a kill shot on the head, but really good job, okay. And Gabe tries to get the ball out, and man, you have one chance right there. It looks like is that Kurt Neal had the initial chance, and then James Thompson, and somehow this lineman just pops on 56 or 74, gets the ball, just wants it more.
I think it was Carter Smith, quarterback.
Carter Smith who ended up getting it. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know who. Yeah, I guess you're right. Carter Smith. And you're just like, how does that happen? How do you not jump on it? I know the ball kind of bounces around, but big time play from Gabe. But man,
that much to break down. I just wanted to mention it because like they punt the ball away. Like if you get the ball there, Jay, you're at inside the 25-yard line or 35-yard line, you can score. And then the momentum changes. You didn't get the momentum you needed off.
That would have been as equally as bad as us getting sacked on the punt, right? I mean, it would have been the same thing with a sack fumble like that, and you just need to pick it up. So it's discouraging.
All right. This may be one of the biggest plays of the game. Darrion Dupree's 84-yard touchdown. This comes after yet another nice first down stop for Illinois. I got the end zone view for the initial part of this too, Jay. So just take me in what you see.
Okay. So you've got a lot of guys on the line here, and it looks like they're slanting to the left on the line. Okay, so you have pressure off the edge with Miles Scott. Okay, so you lose a safety, and then you'll have the guy on the end of the line kind of fall off. And who's the guy on the end of the line? Is that Daniel Brown?
This,
Looks like Daniel Brown on the end of the on the end of the
oh,
left side of the line. I think
yeah,
it's Daniel Brown.
Daniel
Okay. So Daniel Brown kind of falls off, and James Thompson has to do contain. So that it kind of shifts into Daniel Brown being a linebacker. Daniel Brown's not in horrible position here, but what you'll see now is we have James Kreutz is attacking. I'm not sure if they get kind of mixed up on what their fits are. So James Kreutz does a good job attacking here, but you have Matthew Bailey now on the center, and this is not the matchup you want, right? So it just he may get held a little bit, but not when you get crushed like that. And then you have Mac Rosetich's angle, right? So give me the other view here. Take a look. So yeah, you have a stunt here to the left. See, everybody's slanting from right to left. So that means James Thompson then is going to become your defensive end, and you're going to have Daniel Brown fall off and be off the line, okay? And he'll be kind of like your outside linebacker, okay? Not a good read here by Matthew Bailey. Look at the steps here. So actually a decent read and attack here by James Kreutz, okay? So James Kreutz is going to come down and attack, but look at the read here. I'm not sure what he's reading, unless he's reading number 11, the tight end or fullback position here. You see that? See, I always want to leverage the football. Right now, the ball's getting out leveraged on Matthew Bailey by and Rossetich and Bailey are doing the same thing, okay? Yeah. And when you take a bad step, it sets you up for failure later on because your angle's poor. Now he's got to cross back across the face, number 7, Bailey. If he would have stayed where he's at and had his head on the left side to start, he would be able to get off this block and make the play. Daniel Brown is actually in his gap and actually playing with extension. You see how he's leveraging that? That's actually where you want to be on that play. Now he's got to work to fall back and get off that block and help now that the ball declares. He can't get off in time either, right? And then you have Rossetich, who took a bad angle. And then he's the only safety because remember, Miles Scott is up on the line on the stunt, okay? So they bring the safety on the outside. Not bad from James Kreutz, but bad job by Matthew Bailey and Rossetich. You know, I thought the Miles and the Mac and the Matt package, the 3M package was going to be good. It wasn't good, Barry, there.
No. Man. And that just felt like a bat breaker. And Matthew Bailey and Miles Scott basically said as much. All right, 3rd and goal. Chance to get within a field goal here, Jay. And it feels like if you get this, your defensive had a couple stops before this that maybe you could get back in this game. But Wisconsin holds Illinois to a field goal because Illinois can't convert on this 3rd and goal. Justin Boak doesn't get his head around. But, man, I felt like Luke Altmaier got rid of this ball a beat too quick.
Look like he was in a hurry. Okay. Yeah. So it does look like he's in a hurry here. Boak, what I think is he's reading is – so when Luke reads hot, okay, so see how both the linebackers blitz. This is a double A-gap blitz by both linebackers here. So they were going to bring pressure, okay, into the face of Luke Altmaier. When he sees that, I think he's reading hot, which a hot read is, hey, cut my route short, get my head back to the quarterback on this route, right? Now, you might say, well, why isn't he looking? Well, no receiver is actually looking back, right? So it's not just Boak. Nobody's actually looking back. But he may have been the hot route because the linebackers vacated, and what he needs to do is go and sit down right inside there and get inside leverage and make that catch right there in between. So I think Luke's probably a little early. I think the snap doesn't necessarily help. It's not a great snap. Yeah. And I think the hot read's there, but you have one of your more inexperienced receivers there in Justin Boak trying to get that. You also have the umpire in the way as well. Yeah. The umpire is in the way. There's a lot of different things going on. And unfortunately for Illinois, that was a big play that didn't let us get 7, but we had to settle for 3.
Yeah, and this is easy for me to say sitting there watching this on slow-mo, but if there's a beat longer held onto this ball, Hudson Clement feels like he's open.
Feels like he's open there. And you feel like he had to throw it then to Boak to kind of thread the needle between the 2 defenders.
Yeah.
But if you wait a second, you think Hudson Clement will be there. So,
yeah. But obviously, Luke Altmaier was under duress all day. Let's get to a few of those.
I'm not sure I love going to Boak in that situation there. I think Clement and Beatty are probably your best two options.
Agree. All right. Offensive line did not hold up against this Wisconsin defensive front, Jay. There's one of the sacks that we'll highlight here. This one just felt like, I don't know, chaos in the middle.
Yeah, this isn't necessarily one of the worst ones because they at least hold the edges initially, okay? But they kind of get collapsed by, some interior pressure here. Brandon Henderson lets a lot of pressure come through, which in turn makes Getsky kind of trip. Yeah. And then guys are on the ground and, opens it up for Luke to get sacked.
Yeah. Coverage sack too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, good coverage. That wasn't. Some of them were. Some of them were a little bit different.
Yeah,
but that was a big play. I believe that was in the first quarter where we were driving and we weren't able to get a field goal out of it. So
3rd and 15, not an ideal situation to be in. They go tight end and running back to pick up Reiger here. This is a tough spot for Tanner Arkin to be, but man, they didn't pick it up.
Tough, but man, look at the get off by Reiger here. Okay. And then a poor read here also by Caden Fagan. I know that they're bringing pressure and different things, but he's not going to be able to help. You've got Mason Reiger who's just coming like crazy on that side. You'd love to see if Fagan could not step up. Now, I do think that Luke in this game started to fade a little bit too deep. See how his feet are he's fading a little bit too deep. You'd love for him to step up a little bit here. Again, this is slow-mo. It's happening really fast.
Right.
Okay. But he's a little bit, because Arkin's taught to push him. If you get a speed rush, try to push him by the quarterback. Now he dips too much and Arkin doesn't get enough. So I think it's mostly on Arkin, some on Fagan, and Luke a little bit, I think, floats backwards. Again, easy to say when you're not playing.
That's right. Holding on to the ball there. Reiger went for the ball, and Luke was able to hold on to the ball. He's done a better job of that, at least this season.
Right. He had some fumbles early in his sophomore, junior, not this year.
Right. Man, Peterson was really good. J.C. Davis had a rough day.
Yeah, this didn't help J.C. Davis's draft stock. He's had a really good year. I mean, look at the hands. See how he gets the hands down of J.C. Davis and how that makes him top heavy. Now, the moment your head goes over your feet like that, you've got no power and you're off balance. And the way that Peterson was able to get, his hip past J.C. Davis's hip, just really, really good, right? And this is a little bit of a play action. You're trying to fake like the power sweep. You see Getsky kind of pull around, and most of the other stuff is blocked up good, but you're one-on-one here. Their best pass rusher against our best blocker, and it's this one-on-one gets beat. It's a guy getting beat.
It's weird because JC's had mostly such a good year, but after a game like that, after a game like Duke, I sit there and go, can he play tackle at the next level, Jay? Like I have that question.
Well, you see like guys like that every
right.
week. So that's the difficult part.
Yeah. All right. One more, 3rd and 5. Got to have it drive.
And here he just goes with the bull rush. So again, you've got pressure on the outside from Reiger and Peterson, right? Not a great chip from like Caden Fagan. If you're going to be another chip, like chip somebody, like that's like not even a chip, and then you kind of fall out late. So he needs some help. It's not horrible, okay, by Melvin Priestley because he's anchoring down, but then just gets overpowered here by Peterson, who doesn't run past the quarterback and climbs. And then you got to give Reiger some credit there because he compresses the pocket, and that ultimately makes Luke step up when he has that back into Peterson. So man, they were just running roughshod. I think Reiger was a transfer guy and Peterson was kind of a homegrown guy, but man, they tore us up on the edge.
Man, and I think Caden Fagan's been playing pretty good football. The protection's got to get better. They got to find a way just to release him earlier, Jay.
Either release or chip.
Yeah.
But if you're going to chip and then release, why don't you do it? It's not enough there to help your guy.
Yeah. Bad ball, Jay. Bad ball against Wisconsin. We'll see if they can bounce back against Northwestern. But as always, thanks for making us football smarter, man.
Oh, man. It's Illinois football. There's lots of highs. There's lots of lows. Hopefully we went on a high note. Thanks, guys.